I'm sitting on the floor of the library we built, between the heavy volumes of our passion and our guilt. I'm thumbing through the chapters where the ink is still so bright, before the story took a turn and disappeared from sight. Here's the part where we were golden, here's the part we broke. Now I'm just a character who's disappearing into smoke. The spine is cracked and weathered, and the edges are all frayed, like the hollow, empty promises that you and I once made. I'm looking for a sequel or a footnote or a sign, but I'm running out of ink to write your name next to mine. And now I'm just a girl in these lonely pages, crying through the words we haven't spoken for ages. I'm reading through the memories just to feel you for a bit, but the ending's already written and I can't rewrite it. A story with no hero, a book that no one reads, just these lonely pages and a heart that slowly bleeds. I found a pressed dry flower tucked in chapter 29, from the day we walked the valley and you told me you were mine. It's brittle now and colorless, it crumbles at my touch, like everything I wanted that I wanted far too much. I'm staining all the paper with the salt from my own eyes, watching how the truth becomes a paragraph of lies. Flip the leaf, turn the sheet, find a way to stay, but the ink is running dry and the paper's turning gray. I give up every poem, I burn every rhyme, to go back to the prologue just one more time, before the words got heavy, before the plot got cold, before we were a tragedy that's already been told. Yeah, I'm just a girl in these lonely pages, crying through the words we haven't spoken for ages. I'm reading through the memories just to feel you for a bit, but the ending's already written and I can't rewrite it. A story with no hero, a book that no one reads, just these lonely pages and a heart that slowly bleeds. The ink is dry, the book is closed. I'm just a sentence that nobody knows. Lonely pages. The end. I'm watching your ghost walk across the TV screen, in the reflection of a room where we used to be seen. I'm checking my phone just to see the green light, knowing you're awake on the other side of the night. We're breathing the same air under the same gray sky, but it feels like a universe is passing us by. It's not the miles on the map or the time on the clock, it's the way that we listen but we don't even talk. It's the bridge that we burn without making a sound, leaving us stranded on separate ground. And oh, it's a silent distance, a hollow between the loudest goodbye most painful of all. We're two different worlds in the same empty space, lost in the silent distance of your beautiful face. I passed you today in the hall by the stairs, and I tasted the cold in the look of your stares. No hello, no how are you, no stay for a while. Just the jagged remains of a half-broken smile. I wanted to scream till the windows all cracked, but the silence is heavy and it's holding me back. Could a whisper break through? Could a tear bridge the gap? Or are we just caught in a permanent trap? I'm shouting in code, I'm crying in mime, trying to find us one more time. But the static is growing, the signal is weak, and we've forgotten the language we used to speak. Yeah, it's a silent distance, a hollow between the loudest goodbye that has ever been seen. I'm reaching for you, but I'm hitting a wall of the words we're not saying. The most painful of all, we're two different worlds in the same empty space, lost in the silent distance of your beautiful face. So close, yet so far away. Nothing to hear, nothing to say, just the distance. Silent distance, the silent distance. I'm standing in the kitchen where the light is turning thin, listening for the rattle of your key against the tin. The house is full of shadows that look just like your frame, and the wind against the window keeps on whispering your name. I've stopped moving the furniture, I've stopped clearing the dust, 'cause every little fingerprint is all that's left of us. It's been months since you left, but the air hasn't cleared. I'm still living in the silence that I always feared. I'm chasing down a frequency, a signal in the dark, trying to find the embers of a long extinguished spark. And I'm living on the last echo of your I love you, holding on to everything that we used to do. It's a fading vibration, a ghost in the hall, the sound of your footsteps before the great fall. I'm shouting at the emptiness just to hear you back, but I'm just the last echo in a world turned to black. I found your old guitar sitting lonely in the case. I touched the strings and felt the way you occupied this space. A single chord rang out, a hollow, lonely blue, and for a split second the room was full of you. But the note died away like the color in the tree. cryptic end. I'm not ready for the silence to become my only friend. I trade every forever for a single hello, just to stop the momentum of this final bitter blow. But the sound is getting thinner, the resonance is weak, and I'm losing the words that you used to speak. Yeah, I'm living on the last echo of your I love you, holding on to everything that we used to do. It's a fading vibration, a ghost in the hall, the sound of your footsteps before the great fall. I'm shouting at the emptiness just to hear you back, but I'm just the last echo in a world turned to black. Can you hear me? It's getting so quiet now. The last echo is gone. I'm sitting on the floor with a box beneath the bed, full of all the promises and things we never said. I'm tracing out your handwriting, the way you cross your tits. It used to be a comfort, now it brings me to my knees. The ink is slightly smudged where my thumb began to rest, on the page where you told me that you loved me best. But the sentences are fractured and the meaning started to shift, like a heavy piece of driftwood that's beginning to drift. I'm trying to bridge the spaces between the you and I, but the paper's getting brittle and the sentiment is dry. And now I'm reading broken letters in the middle of the night, trying to fix a story that we couldn't finish right. The vowels are all missing and the consonants are cold, just a jagged stack of secrets that are growing gray and old. I'm screaming through the margins, I'm crying through the ink, but these broken letters are the only way we link. I try to write a new one to tell you how I feel, to see if there was something left that's tangible and real. But the pen just ran in circles and the words all came out wrong, like a bird without a feather or a singer with no song. I folded up the silence and I tucked it in the pack, 'cause there isn't any mailbox that can bring your spirit back. A D for the distance, an O for the out, a U for the universe of all this heavy doubt. I'm spelling out our ending in a language made of lead, rereading every syllable until my eyes are red. The alphabet is empty, the grammar's out of gear, and I'm losing the translation of why you isn't here. Yeah, I'm reading broken letters in the middle of the night, trying to fix a story that we couldn't finish right. paper and paint, just ink in the rain. I'm closing the box now, broken letters. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye. I'm walking through the house in the middle of the night, when the moon provides the only kind of silver light. I pass the empty chair where you used to read the news, and I'm careful where I step so I don't wake the blues. There's a heavy kind of stillness sitting on the shelf, and I find myself talking just to hear myself. They don't scream, they don't shout, they don't make a scene. They just live in the spaces that are tucked in between. The ticking of the clock and the cooling of the tea is the only conversation left for you and me. And it's just quiet memories drifting through the hall, like the dust in the sunlight, like the leaves in the fall. They don't break any windows, they don't tear down the door. They just haunt me a little more than they did the day before. I'm living in a museum where the exhibits are all you, just quiet memories that I'm still clinging to. Found your old keychain at the bottom of a drawer. The jingle sounded different than it ever did before. It didn't mean you're home, it didn't mean a start. It just echoed through the hollow of my quiet, tired heart. I put it back in place beneath the velvet and the lace, because I can't bear the sunlight on an empty open space. I wish the ghost would wail, I wish the walls would cry. Anything is better than this muted goodbye. This soft spoken sorrow, this elegant grief, it's stealing my tomorrow like a silent static thief. Give me thunder, give me lightning, give me something I can hear, instead of this reflection slowly getting less clear. Yeah, it's just quiet memories drifting through the hall, like the dust in the sunlight, like the leaves in the fall. They don't break any windows, they don't tear down the door. They just haunt me a little more than they did the day before. I'm living in a museum where the exhibits are all you, just quiet memories that I'm still clinging to. Shh. Can you feel it? The sound of a secret. The memory of us is keeping me quiet. Quiet memories, just me and the quiet. I'm leaning out the window, looking at the black, waiting for a cosmic sign to bring your spirit back. We used to count the diamonds, we used to name the light, but something's gone missing from the ceiling of the night. The North Star is shaking, the archer lost his bow, and I'm watching the only world I knew begin to let go. It's a slow motion burnout, a cooling of the core. I don't see the fire in the heavens anymore. One by one the glimmers are blinking out of view, leaving me in shadows that are colored just like you. And I'm standing under fading stars tonight, watching as the universe gives up on the light. They're losing their gravity, they're drifting out of reach, like every single lesson that you tried so hard to teach. The sky is getting heavy, the galaxy is tired, and I'm just a lonely spark where a sun once fired. I remember when your laughter was a supernova glow. It didn't matter where we were or where we had to go. But now the telescopes are empty and the lens is cracked and gray. I'm watching our forever slowly bleed itself away. The light that's hitting me right now is from a million years ago, a ghost of a beauty that I've already let go. Don't go dark on me yet, don't turn into the void. I'm terrified of everything that's been destroyed. I'm shouting at the vacuum, I'm begging for a flare, just a tiny bit of glitter in the cold and empty air. But the night is winning and the sky is falling through, and I'm losing the constellation that led me home to you. The galaxy's tired, and I'm just a lonely spark where a sun once fired. Blink and you're gone. The dark is moving on, just a hollow sky where the stars go to die. Fading, everything is fading. Just a lonely moon. I'm looking out the window at that silver frozen stone, hanging in the velvet, so majestic and alone. She doesn't have a fire, she doesn't have a heat. She's just a pale reflection of a world that's incomplete. I used to think she watched us when we laid out on the grass. Now she's just a witness to the hours as they pass. No stars are gathered near her, they're a million miles away. She's waiting for a sun that died at the ending of the day. I feel a pull inside me, like a heavy hollow tide, searching for the pieces that I'm forced to keep inside. And I'm just dancing with a lonely moon tonight, bathed in all the shadows of a cold and borrowed light. I'm reaching for the crater where your heart used to be, but there's nothing but the gravity that's pulling down on me. No atmosphere to breathe in, no still believing forever is part of the plan. Because from where I'm standing, she's a ghost up in the sky, a giant glowing reminder of a beautiful goodbye. Trade the whole horizon for a single spark of gold to break the silver shiver and this dark and bitter cold. But the cycle keeps on turning from the crescent to the full, and I'm just a victim of the lonely steady pull. Higher and higher till I'm floating in the black, with no way to find the rhythm that can bring your spirit back. Yeah, I'm dancing with the lonely moon tonight, bathed in all the shadows of a cold and borrowed light. I'm reaching for the crater where your heart used to be, but there's nothing but the gravity that's pulling down on me. No atmosphere to breathe in, no reason left to stay. Just a lonely moon following a love that walked away. Phase by phase, lost in the haze. She's still up there, and I'm still here. Just a lonely moon. I'm staring at the dust on the photos in the hall, watching how the sunlight moves its shadow down the wall. I found a receipt in the pocket of your jeans from a Tuesday afternoon, and all the usual routines. It's a scrap of paper, just a common tiny thing, but it feels like a heavy weight that's starting to sting. I'd give up every future, every plan I ever made to get back just a minute of the price that we have paid. I'm counting up the hours like they're coins inside a jar, but I can't buy a road that leads back to where we are. And oh, it's just lost time slipping through my hands like water in the desert or the hourglass sands. I'm reaching for the mornings and the way you used to sleep, but the days are getting shallow and the memory's too deep. I'm a pilot with no compass, I'm a rhythm with no rhyme, just a girl left standing in the wake of all this lost time. I remember how we wasted whole afternoons in bed, thinking we had oceans of forever left ahead. We treated every second like a thing we'd always own. Now I'm sitting in the silence of a house that's overgrown. The clock is still ticking, but the numbers look all wrong, since the heartbeat of our story stopped moving along. Break the gears and stop the wheels, turn the world around. I'm digging for our history in the cold and frozen ground. I want the boring moments, I want the how was your day, I want the thousand little things that I threw all away. But the sun keeps on rising, indifferent and fast, while I'm anchored to the gravity of a disappearing past. Yeah, it's just lost time slipping through my hands like water in the desert or the hourglass sands. I'm reaching getting cold. Tick, tick, tick. The room is getting cold. The room is getting cold. Minutes into memories, stories getting old. Lost time. I just need one more minute. Goodbye. The coffee's getting cold on the table for two, but there's no sound of footsteps, no shadow of you. You didn't say a word when you gathered your keys, just a shift in the air like a dying breeze. I watched you through the window as you reached for the gate. A heart full of things that I said way too late. No shouting, no crying, no please let me stay. Just the weight of the silence as you drifted away. I was waiting for a storm, for the thunder to break, for a jagged I'm sorry or a final mistake. But the air is just heavy and the world is just still as the sun disappears over the edge of the hill. And it's a silent goodbye, the loudest I've heard. A mountain of sorrow and not saying a word. There's no closure in static, no peace in the hush. Just the feeling of everything turning to dust. I'm reaching for echoes in a room gone to black. But a silent goodbye never brings a heart back. Never brings a heart back. I walk through the kitchen and I touch your old chair. The ghost of your presence is still hanging there. I trade all this quiet for a scream or a fight, just to know that you're feeling the cold of the night. But you're a ghost in the driveway, a blur in the rain, leaving me here with this bloodless pain. The door didn't slam, it just clicked in the lock, like the final slow beat of a dying clock. Is this how we end, in a muted refrain, with nothing but salt and the sound of the rain? I'm begging the shadows to give me a sign that you're still a part of this heart that was mine. But the silence is greedy, it swallows the light and leaves me alone with the wrong and the right. Yeah, it's a silent goodbye, the loudest I've heard. A mountain of sorrow and not saying a word. There's no closure in static, no peace in the hush. Just the feeling of everything turning to dust. I'm reaching for echoes in a room gone to black. But a silent goodbye never brings a heart back. Can you hear it? The sound of the end. No words left to borrow, no love left to lend. Just a silent goodbye. 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 It's a pressure in my ears, it's a stone in my chest. 1,000 I love yous put to a permanent rest. The television's flickering, but the volume is zero. In a house with no villain and a heart with no hero. And it's a heavy silence pulling me down, like a lead-covered blanket in a hollowed-out town. It's louder than thunder, it's sharper than glass, watching the ghost of our chemistry pass. I'm screaming inside where the world cannot see, but this heavy silence is burying me. I look at your side of the bed, perfectly neat. The sheets are so cold, like a winter retreat. We're miles apart while we're inches away, finding a million ways not to say that the fire is out and the wood has gone damp in the flickering light of a dying old lamp. Give me a crash, give me a slam, remind me of who I supposedly am. Break a glass, start a fire, make a jagged sound. Anything's better than being world-bound in this soundproof cage where the oxygen dies, and I'm reading the end in your quieted eyes. Yeah, it's a heavy silence pulling me down like a lead-covered blanket in a hollowed-out town. It's louder than thunder, it's sharper than glass, watching the ghost of our chemistry pass. I'm screaming inside where the world cannot see, but this heavy silence is burying me. It's so heavy, it's so